Hi, everybody, and welcome to Celebrity Encounter Podcast. My name is Jerry McCambridge. I am the Mentalist. I have a show here in Las Vegas for the last 21 years. I have a star on the Walk of Fame, 5,460 whatever shows. I don't consider myself a celebrity. I'm just a guy who does a cool job. But Harlan, on the other hand, thinks I'm a celebrity, so I am here to host the show. I have a special co-host with me today. It's Scott C. Weiss. Hi, Scott.
My pleasure. Nice to be here.
Pleasure to have you here. And today we're talking to Dr. Phineas. That name in itself is fun. You sound like a cartoon character, you know, Dr. Phineas Fur. There should be something else after the Phineas. But, well, with that mustache of his, he is pretty furry. He's got that little handlebar mustache. I love your look. I love the background. Everything about what I'm looking at is colorful. I'm the opposite. Since I'm the Mentalist, I'm always in black. And so we have something special, Doc.
Right.
We know that you were the godfather, grandfather, semi-creator, creator, whatever title you want, of Steampunk. And Scott C. Weiss wore a special vest today.
Yes,
it's a steampunk vest
inspired
just for
vest
you.
For you, of course. Legendary.
I love that.
I always say Spirit Halloween owes you money because of their steampunk section
really
every
do.
single year. They really do.
Isn't that crazy?
Well,
you know, Spirit of Halloween told me steampunk is the best-selling costume
100%.
that they have. And I'm like, where's my percentage? I'm the
That's
guy
right.
that came up with this idea.
Because I've seen you throughout the years, and I'm like, when I go into there every single season, I see that I'm like, this is Doc Phineas right here. He created like pretty much all of this look
true.
right here that you see. So it's incredible to me.
They actually have a mask that is my face. It's actually my face. And so my agent made me trademark my mustache and my face because people were knocking me off. There was some guy in Japan claiming to be me.
That's a good agent. Job well done.
Wow. I've gone into high-end hat stores.
Yeah.
I've gone into high-end hat stores, and they have the big hat with the goggles on it and the whole thing. And
there he
it's
is.
just so cool looking, this stuff.
I got it right here. I never go anywhere without
Put it on.
Beautiful. There it is.
Oh, no, that is so rudimentary compared to the stuff that I've seen with the goggles and the whole thing. I
He
love
steps
it.
up
Oh, yeah.
to a wee bit, as opposed
He's
to
modest.
Spirit Halloween.
Here's where it
Exactly.
started.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is pretty good. But so it is known that I have a question for you. You've done a lot of Pawn Stars, and I don't mean porno. You're not a porno star. Pawn Stars. You're on the Pawn Star TV show a lot. How many episodes have you been on?
54.
54.
Wow.
And I gave up porn stars for Lent. I want you to know I no
you?
longer work the corner of Industrial and Oki.
I heard the girls were complaining about the mustache.
Sadly, I
and
gave up
tickling
alcohol
the
for
thighs
Lent.
and-
They all sort of coincide together.
The
Trust
weird guy in the top hat and goggles. No.
So somewhere in my notes here, it says something about Pawn Stars, and you have something to do with one of my very favorite movies of all time, which is Patriot Games. Tell me about that.
Well, like Rick brings me in to, appraise all kinds of things. So it just depends on, the episode that he's doing. But I think there were like artifacts from that movie that I appraised.
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
many, many moons ago.
That is awesome. One of my favorite movies, Harrison Ford. If Rick is a friend of yours, you need to tell him that he's doing a thing now where he's doing a meet and greet where people pay to meet him, and it looks like it's out back, and they have a tent set up, and every time the people stand next to him, this is Rick. He does like the same pose. We can get a cardboard cutout of the man, and it would not be any
Could save a
different.
lot of money.
So talk to Rick about that, but that's not why we're
we
here
have
today.
a cardboard cutout of him, and it pretty much, I've taken pictures with it and with Rick, and they look the same.
Pretty much identical.
I've
And
done the
look at
show.
me,
I've done Pawn
I go on
Stars.
television like this, and he goes, "Why are you trying to upstage me?" I go, "My entire goal in life is to make you and Chum Lee look bad."
Oh, then just wear that clear outfit of yours. You have a clear suit, completely clear. I dare you.
My
I
clear
double
plastic
dog
suit,
dare
I
you to
don't
wear
know.
that on the next Pawn Stars.
That's something
I don't think
everybody
History
wants to
Channel
see,
would
of
like
course.
that.
Somebody will walk in with like the crown from the King of England in 1872. You'll walk in with that clear suit. Nobody will even look at the crown. Rick will go, "Oh, come on. But
That guy's always upstaging me. That's what he says.
so one of my favorite movies is Tony Curtis in Houdini many, many years ago. They have since done another one years later with the guy from Dukes of Hazzard. I forgot his name. The one
John Schneider?
the black hair. I think that was
Derek-
no. John Schneider was the blonde. He had 3 names.
It's gonna drive me crazy.
So Tony Curtis did the Houdini movie, which is great. You and Tony Curtis are best friends. Awesome.
Yeah.
I had heard that a friend of mine, he actually lived next door to me, was a funeral director. And he came to me one day and said, I'm doing a funeral. It's for Tony Curtis. And his daughter, Jamie Lee, was putting the whole thing together. And she has a beautiful plot at the cemetery. I've been there a few times. I really like Tony. I go sit. There's a whole sitting area. And my friend said to me that they had to make special arrangements at the funeral home to get Schwarzenegger, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Not that I needed to clarify because there's only one Schwarzenegger. They needed to get him in the back door because he wanted to pay respects to Jamie Lee Curtis. And at the time, he was like the governor or something like that. And
He was the governor of California. He did the eulogy. Schwarzenegger did the eulogy at the funeral.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
It was great.
So my friend snuck
It was
him in
fantastic.
the back, got him in.
I was the person got up and said, okay, and now we have the governor of California is going to give the eulogy. And he came up, and I was sitting with Jamie Lee. I had Jamie Lee on one side of me. The other side of me was Shelley Berkeley, who is our current mayor of Las Vegas.
Wow.
So I was in good company. And Shelley was a big friend of, at all of Tony's parties. And Schwarzenegger, told all these great stories because, Schwarzenegger actually directed Tony in an incredible, funny movie called Christmas in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, that is kind of a great segue for me because that's my funny story of what it's like to be directed by Schwarzenegger. So Tony and I were both there. I don't know if you've seen this movie, but Diane Cannon is actually kind of like Martha Stewart in the movie. She's doing all of these cooking shows, but she doesn't know how to cook. So she puts the turkey in the oven. She takes it out for Christmas. And this guy shows up and spray paints the turkey like it's perfect, like she just roasted it.
Was that your
And
part?
One
Tony's
way to
the
do it.
Was that your part? Were you the spray painter?
You'll see me in there doing some really funny crap in that movie. And I'm trying not to look at Tony because he makes me laugh. If I look at him, he will either punch me in the side so hard that, because there was really bad stuff going on the set, like stuff is burning and Diane Cannon doesn't know how to cook, but she's running this cooking show. So we get ready to go to the scene where she's going home for Christmas and she's taking Tony with her, and there's a Christmas tree and all the kids are sitting there with their presents, and here's Diane Cannon, myself, and Tony, and we're getting ready to walk into this Christmas scene. Everybody's singing Joy to the World, and Schwarzenegger turned to me and he goes, "Doc, take no prisoners."
Was he telling you to improvise?
I'm doing a Christmas scene. I'm handing out presents.
Right.
Take no prisoners. And Tony just burst out laughing. He thought that was the funniest thing he'd ever heard in his life. Take no prisoners. Just coming out of Schwarzenegger.
So how was Schwarzenegger as a director? Because,
Like that. He was hysterical.
You have some people, celebrities, who are really good at what they do. Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you look up the word action hero in the dictionary, Schwarzenegger's picture is there.
You don't think of director, though, too much.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
You
That's what I
don't
was
think of
thinking just
comedy.
now.
Remember he tried to do Twins?
Yes.
He
Right?
did Twins with Danny DeVito.
Directing Martha Stewart, like
No.
in a
No.
cooking show.
So how
Absolutely
was
not.
it? Okay, we're going to do another take and do it different this time.
We're gonna
Be a
do
little
it.
funnier.
Take no
One funnier. Action. Like, how was he as a
Can I have a piece
director?
of cake?
Here goes Diane Cannon. She's out there with an aspic she's making for the turkey. And he goes, "Take no prisoners."
I still don't understand what that meant, but okay.
It's hysterical because, that's a line from, I think, Terminator. Take no prisoner means kill everybody,
I
right?
believe
Right.
it was, yes.
You got a gun but it just seems so crazy. Tony and I were just giggling the whole time because what would come out of his mouth would be like lines from an action thriller, movie.
He's a parody
And we're
of
Everybody knows
himself.
best,
making about,
yes.
cooking a good Jello aspic on, like your foie gras.
so many things that Arnold knew about that he could direct
Just
you.
mass confusion in his eyes.
That was his idea. Go in there and take no prisoners. And I'm going, but I'm handing out Christmas presents. You want me to kill everybody?
So when you had to take a break on the set
And
because
keep the
Arnold
presents for yourself.
Arnold had to use the bathroom, would he say, "I'll be back"?
You beat me to it.
Basically.
I was thinking of a good "I'll be back" joke.
Everything came out of movies, in my mind. I'm a huge fan of his. I've really loved him forever and ever, and he's such a nice guy. He's really
Is he
a great guy?
Yeah.
And it just like, but you have to realize you are speaking to the Terminator. He really is. I think even when he was governor of California, he was still the Terminator, and so you just can't kind of divorce him from what his screen persona is.
Well, his wife is able to divorce him with that
Boy,
whole
I'll
nanny
say.
situation.
Yeah.
But he could
touch the maids. Don't say
anything
he
bad
could
about
go
Touch
the
up
maids.
against any bad action hero and destroy them. His wife, oh no, I won't be back.
She never
I
came
love
back.
Maria Shriver. Don't say anything bad about her. She's one of my dear friends.
Oh,
These are just amazing people, and you put these personalities making a movie, and it's very, very funny. Like if you have to just throw yourself into your role so you won't laugh, because just seeing the different personalities and how they interact in a completely weird situation like Martha Stewart, like a Martha Stewart show, is just really, really very funny. And Tony was hilarious in that movie as this kind of unhinged director, is trying to direct this cooking show on the Food Channel. It was.
So here's a
if you get
question
a
for
chance,
you:
gotta
when
see it.
you're hanging around Arnold, does he reek of cigar smell?
I don't think so.
Because every time I see him, he's smoking a stogie. He loves
I
his
know
stogies.
that's kind of his persona, but no.
He doesn't
I
smoke them
didn't-
a lot?
No, he's really charming and just still so handsome and dresses beautifully, and
You could still be
just-
charming and handsome and stink.
It's still
I
smell.
guess so, but he's not like that. He smells more like,
Money.
let's say, polo.
Does he smell like money or does he smell like the maid?
And he smells like polo. He's, he like the guy is European. Like I don't think people like. I had this very good friend George Dorian who was his really, really great mentor in Austria, and so we used to go to Arnold's restaurant all the time together and have lunch with him. And these guys are from Europe. They're Austrian, so that's why they have this sense of style.
Well, embellish on
they're
that.
all
I did not even know
groomed and-
Arnold owns a restaurant. What kind of food is it?
Austrian.
Oh, okay. It's not like
it's
all
from
steroids
Austria,
and
so
stuff
it's
like
called,
that.
It's called Tirgenia, which means darling in Austrian. And
Turgenev.
it's in Santa Monica.
Santa Monica. I remember back in the day when I lived in Santa Monica when he first opened it. And so I remember that restaurant.
Yeah, remember
Is it
that?
still around?
Opening-
Is
I
it
think
still?
Great
is
little
it still
restaurant.
around?
I eat there a lot.
What kind of food did he allow on set? Was it like Austrian food, anything like that? Did he ever bring any of his specialties there, or no? It was just standard.
No, the
yeah,
food on set is just crap. It's just always
craft
just
services. Yeah.
I just came out of a movie, where, I think my salt intake was more than I've had all year, and my blood pressure is going, like you really have to almost bring your own food. I was working with Paul Dano, and he goes, I don't eat hot dogs and chips, so we're sending out to Dash and have Dash bring us salads and stuff because it's just all candy bars, and
It's
you
the
wonder how a
sugar
person
to
makes
get
it
you
through a
going.
movie.
Yeah.
It's the sugar to wake you up.
Give you energy.
It's everybody calls it craft services.
Crack services, they should call it.
It's
'Cause it gives you
crap
energy.
services.
Crap and crack.
Yes.
To give you the energy.
But it gets you through.
It was really funny because Tony and Arnold first met on the movie Sextet with Mae West. That's how they met. So they became really good friends. And I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, it's hysterical. So Mae was really old in those days. And Arnold told me, he said that she could barely move. She could barely walk. And yet she was supposed to be, this love goddess in her 80s, So she just kind of like put her hand like this, and they would wrap her up to a pole and move her into position on this board that had wheels. And they would just move her around. She couldn't even walk. And so, and Tony was in the movie, and he was in the movie, and the things coming out of Mae West's mouth were pretty funny. And she was so old she couldn't remember her lines. So Arnold said, they made a booth for her, and for this lady who was giving her lines on an earphone, lodged behind her hair. And so she's like, "Hello, baby, come up and see me sometime." She's still doing these lines. She did her whole life, and this lady's feeding her lines. And Arnold's this dashing guy she was in love with in the movie. It was hysterical. And then Mae West goes, "We have a 1040 at Fairfax and Mayfair. Calling all cars. She's picking up the police channel. We've got a 1020. We need backup." And we were destroyed. It was everybody on the set was laughing so hard because she was literally giving the police channel.
See, now thinking of a scene between Mae West and Arnold Schwarzenegger, you would never expect that, just like you wouldn't expect Arnold to be a director.
This is news to me. I'm learning
And
from
Doc,
Doc
just
Phineas.
a random question. On the set, when he was directing, did he make you all exercise by any chance? All of the characters? Did he make you do any kind of exercise? All right,
I would have loved that. I would have loved it. I mean, if Arnold got me to exercise, I would be...
They're probably the only way I would exercise if he told me to do it. Absolutely.
What better trainer to have
than
Arnold
Schwarzenegger? Stuff
Schwarzenegger?
was very based on action movies. That's what he knew. And so that worked for an action movie, but for a movie about Martha Stewart and cooking and on a food channel, it's pretty funny.
So working with Tony Curtis, though, I mean, just an incredible experience, I'm just assuming, right? Just to sum it up, I was thinking that in my head, such a legend and stuff. So I'm so impressed with that. And that you had that opportunity.
He really was totally a legend. We would get dressed up in the evening and we'd go out dancing, right? So we went to Mirage a lot. We went to Bellagio a lot. And we'd be walking through Bellagio, and we're both in black tie. I mean, we'd go out to dinner, black tie, and we'd go to Picasso, and Wolfgang would cook for us. And I mean, it was just a wonderful life, like movie stars. And so after that, we would walk through the casino, and these little old ladies would fall apart. Tony Curtis, you're my favorite star. You've been my heartthrob, for years. And here I am, and I don't even have a piece of paper and a pencil to get your autograph. And Tony would say, "Well, I'm going to give you a hug. That'll be better." So he would give these little old ladies, a hug. And then we'd be getting in the limo and they'd be running over to the limo and they said, "I just found a paper and pencil. Can I have your autograph now?" And Tony would
hug
say,
wasn't enough.
"Okay, I'll give you an autograph, but you have to give me the hug back."
Oh. I like that line. That's a way to get two hugs out of a woman.
Boy, I'll say it.
Look at him go. If you turn to the side, Doc. The other way. You could probably be Andy Warhol's uncle.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like Andy Warhol's.
Well, you switch. You have such an eclectic look always, and you're always switching it up,
Andy Warhol.
which I love.
I love Andy Warhol. So I go to the Warhol Museum parties all the time. Teresa Hines throws in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That was his hometown, so he has this fantastic. And so Teresa Hines, who owns Hines, she throws amazing parties, and she even said it to me. She said, "I just love having you here. It's like having Andy here." But I think he was a little bit more eclectic and more amazing than me. I don't know.
Well, you're giving him a run for his money. I will tell you that.
Right?
You are. And on that note, we are going to wrap it up, Doc Phineas. You have been a great, colorful guest. I love talking to you. I love your stories. We can do a whole podcast just on you alone. You're one of the only people that drops names all the time, but there's meaning behind it. It's just not like, I met him in the passing at the ballet. You have great stories. We love to talk to you.
Thank you.
And for Celebrity Encounter Podcast, I'm Jerry McCambridge.
And I'm Scott C. Weiss.
And we hope you tune in, like, and hit the bell, and hit everything, and whatever you have to do on YouTube so you can keep up with us. We hope you have a good day.
Thank you, Doc.
You're very welcome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for tuning in today, and if you enjoyed our show, please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast on all your favorite platforms. We'll see you next week with the next episode of Celebrity Encounter Podcast.